So Ed, you're waking up and you're kind of confused. Like, where in the fuck am I? You notice that you're in a boat, but you're slowly like scooting along. You're like, why am I moving? Like, you're not wet, you're dry. You're just kind of scooting across the floor. And then you realize that there's a crab has a hold of you and it's kind of taking you away. What do you do?
How big is the crab compared to me?
This crab is big enough for you. It's like a surfboard to you. Wait, forgot how tall you are.
I am 5'8".
Yeah, it's like a skateboard, surfboard. It's like that medium right in between, so a wakeboard.
Okay.
Pretty big crab.
Snowboard.
Yeah. But he doesn't have like a full, like, he has a grip on you, but he doesn't have like a full, like, he's not clamped down.
Where does he have me? Ankle? I'm assuming.
By your arms. Like, Christ pose.
Oh shit.
So there's legitimately almost nothing I can do.
You can do stuff. Like, he has a whole, it's like, what are those handcuffs? You know those fake, like, plastic handcuffs that they're not tight,
Yeah.
but they're tight? Like, he has a hold of you. It's like he's taking you away to eat you. He thinks you're dead.
I'd probably try to pull my arms out.
You sure you want to do that?
No.
Because you would do a strength check with advantage.
Oh yeah, since he's not paying attention to him.
Yep.
Excuse me.
You just,
Yeah. It's probably my first response is get my hands out of the.
all right, roll 2d20s. And you have 0. You have no proficiency in that. You have a 0. You pull. The crab realizes that you're pulling. He doesn't clamp down like he's owning you, but he's like, oh shit. Oh shit, he's moving. Now what are you going to do? And the funny thing is, you're inside the boat. So he's trying to figure, this crab's trying to figure out how to get you the hell out of this boat.
Is there anything around that I can like latch on?
I mean, the boat's kind of tattered, so I mean, there's pieces of wood that you can hold on to. I mean, there's a few things you could do. You just have to. Because you don't know where you're at. So if you look at your bonds, you know how that's what it says that by reading your bonds,
Yeah.
it's not going to affect you. was something that you could do. Like, you could scream, you can try standing up, which I wouldn't recommend it. Because how heavy is this fucker? Because you're what, 150 pounds, right? 130 pounds.
Oh shit, that's you moving it around.
Yeah, I can move it around too. I have it up so I can, if I give you information, I can put it in there. Yeah, I don't know if you can pick this guy up.
Probably not with a strength modifier of 0. And even then, all he has to do is clamp down on it and be down again.
Or he could cut your hands off.
Like I said, clamp down and I'd be down again.
Alright, what do you want to do?
I'd probably call for help at this point. Is anybody there?
Alright, Jeremy. You are... You know, you remember... I mean, you don't really remember last night. But you start...
Oh, yeah.
But you start waking up,
Yep.
but you hear... You hear the cries of someone yelling. You're like, the hell is that? And then you wake up and you see Zeus kind of looking the way you know how you got into the camp.
Okay.
But Zeus is just, you know, it's Zeus, so he's just like, is he hearing shit?
What am I hearing? Yeah. All right.
Go and roll a con save.
All right. Let's do this. Okay, I have 0. That's interesting. All right. 11.
Well, you're able to stand up. You just don't throw up.
All right.
You forgot to ask what was inside that potion that you took.
I don't think I wanted to know. That was from that pot, right? That he was.
No, that was that. You remember you took the healing potion?
Yeah.
That it heals you twice, but you get drunk in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But you wanted to stop the boom shrooms. So you're not.
That explodes.
So you're not shitting yourself, and you're not puking.
That's good.
It really does sound like a
Right? Freaking street meat.
But Dred's, you know, Dred's he's still up. He's just like, I hear that screaming, but is that you?
Nope. I was trying to figure out what it was too.
Wait, did we leave your people on the beach?
We did leave a couple guys. They were all pretty much asleep.
Yeah, you might want to go check that out.
I guess I forgot to. I get up. Okay, what's going on with my... Oh, shit. My screen went blank.
Did you go too far to the left?
Let's see.
I think you went too far to the left or too far to the right. Remember, you only ventured a little bit.
Well, no, I had it on my screen, and then the screen went gray. Like I had the camp where we were at, and on my. So I didn't want to move it because I was like, yeah, it's gonna get dark, and then I won't know where the fuck I'm at.
No, we gotta wait. There we go.
Add your server link.
Actually, what part of it? I want to check your bio real quick. All right, you're good to do whatever you want to do.
All right.
I was just reading to see how much information I gave you already. So, Ed, just to let you know, all these, all the backstories
Yeah.
are all intertwined together. You guys have some kind of relation to each other.
Are we all children of the same bard?
No.
All right. Did I find out what that sound was?
Wait, did I? I wonder if I told you that or not.
You didn't tell me anything else.
Not you. No,
No.
I'm reading Jeremy's thing to see if he knows anything. Jeremy, you do know what his ring is.
Okay. Wait, I do.
It's the first
From the
sentence.
captain's log?
Captain's log in your first sentence
Oh, yeah.
on the city. On the city symbol.
Oh, yeah.
So that first blurb, like your first 4 or 5 sentences, involve him.
Okay.
Because you know what the symbol is, so.
The first 4 or 5 sentences in my story.
Yeah. Just because of where you guys are from. You don't know exactly who he is, but you know,
He's a noble of some sort.
like he lived in the city you lived in.
Okay.
Actually, you have 3 characters that lived in the same city as you. And you know of 2. Yes, sweetheart? I didn't see it. Yeah, probably. Okay. Alright. Jeremy, what are you doing?
All right, so I'm looking to find out where the sound was coming from. Is he? Is he the one that's on the boat?
Yeah.
The necklace on? Okay.
No. He's the one with the ring. The ring that Jimmy wanted to steal but decided against it because that's not his thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Oh, did your character already move?
Yeah, I'm already over back at the boat.
Okay, so you see you just see this guy just kind of scooting along inside the boat. He just kind of keeps running into things, and you're like, what the hell is going on? You
Hey
don't.
man, what are you doing?
Not you, Ed.
Let's try to think of a witty response.
Jeremy, you're just fascinated with this. You're kind of like in the Zeus mode. Like,
Oh,
this is like,
smoking
this is awesome.
it.
This guy's just kind of like, it's like a Roomba. Like, it doesn't make sense to you, but it's funny as shit.
I have no idea what's going on, but this is pretty fucking great.
He's some kind of magician or something. Nothing.
God,
You got nothing, Ed?
probably just a heavy sigh.
What do you do to that, Jeremy?
Uh, oh, I'm gonna, what, what would I need to roll to see if I can see what's dragging him along? Would that be a insight?
Perception?
Perception. Perception. Ooh. 10.
Is that right for you?
Well, I get a +3 to perception. So I must have rolled a 7.
Uh, how do you get a +3? You don't get a +3. I think you took Jimmy's. I think you took Jimmy's perception.
How did that?
I don't know. You should have survival,
Yeah.
investigation,
Yep.
yeah, that's it.
Hmm.
Because I think Jimmy has the. Yeah, Jimmy has the bonus.
Okay. All right, then I will. Should I just re-roll it then?
Yeah.
Let's try. Well, got
Why?
11.
Why do you keep rolling Constitution?
It's perception.
That's Constitution.
Scroll down.
Oh, there it is.
Roll it. Like,
So
what the
you
fuck is
you notice that it kind of has like shackles on his hands, and you know that wasn't there the last time.
it? Hey, man, you doing something kind of kinky over there? Do I need to leave you alone?
It's like Ed's lost for words.
Do you really think a person of my... Oh god, how do I word this without using...
Do you want to roll perception on Jeremy, so you can see what he looks like?
Sure. But I gotta go turn that off.
What did you roll?
I used to have the advantage up on.
So even if I take the first one, 16, you actually rolled a 19. Wait. Nope. You rolled a 17. So you got a +1 in perception. Right?
Yep.
Ed.
Sorry, updating.
When you look at Jeremy, he's wearing a leather armor, but it's got like tree branches, leaves intertwined in it. So he's some kind of. He lived in the woods. Some kind of woods tribe. He's also, you can tell that he's human. And he spent a lot of time outside because he's a little dirty. I think Jeremy's the one that's like, I think he's dark. Nope, you're tan. Jimmy's the one that's black. That he's about the same height as you. Brown hair, brown eyes, and he's tan. If that helps you at all. Do you need me to give you an extra note so you can write shit down?
Me or Ed?
Ed.
Yeah, something I could just write in.
There you go. God, your shit's so funny though, Ed. Your character. Oh, even with your perception, when you're looking at him, you're looking at yourself. You're not in metal armor, but you have like it's like a fancier chainmail. You know, on your chest you have the symbol that's on your ring. So, just so you know what your armor is. There was only one person that had heavy duty armor on.
I'm trying. Hold on. I know what I want to say. I just gotta figure out how to say it.
To who? Jeremy?
Jeremy. Yeah.
Actually, give me a wisdom roll.
Me?
Yep. Ooh. Nope, you don't recall nothing. Just trying to see if you were gonna get hooked up looking at Jeremy.
Let me see if I can. I would probably respond to him. Do you think someone who takes such care to stay clean would drag himself through the?
I mean, this is what fetishes are, man. You know, I don't know what you do if you're fun.
Yeah, he's got a dude that fucks turtles.
Yep. Just met a guy. He just goes around trying to fuck turtles. It's... I don't judge no more.
Long story short, Jimmy was getting hit on by a turtle, and he basically encouraged it.
That's wrong on so many levels.
Yeah. That's Jimmy.
Jimmy's character's real fucked up. I'll just say that.
Do I know I'm being dragged by a crab?
Oh, you do now with that 17. Like he has, he's got you by the hands, and you know it's a crab because, looking at those, it's not handcuffs, it's pinchers.
No, this is not a fetish. I am being dragged around by this crab who I assume is trying to.
Oh. Alright then. So, I'm gonna try to help him.
No, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna bonk it with my hunting horn.
You're gonna bonk Ed?
Crab. Actually, 'cause yeah, if you told me that, I should be able to see it then, right?
Yeah. Well, Ed is surfing it.
Oh,
On my
it's under
back.
him. Oh.
Like he's laying in the Christ, like you know how Christ is on the cross.
Yeah.
That's how Ed is. I mean, you could golf swing if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. That's probably gonna be.
That's gonna be a dex with disadvantage because you're trying not to hit Ed. And
Here we
are
go.
you doing damage or are you gonna try to knock the crab out?
I'm just trying to knock it out.
All right, let's see what you do.
Damn. I would have had a 21 the other way. Are you fucking serious?
You crit no matter what you did.
Yeah.
So he, oh god, so he goes up the golf swing. You know, Jeremy is not being, not very sport
Sober.
friendly or sober. Goes the swing, misses, like it goes away from your face, but it hits you in the hand. Knocks your hand free, but he broke your thumb.
Ouch.
So you got one hand free. And on your other hand, you feel the crab gripping harder. Now the crab's pissed off.
And I have a broken thumb.
You have one
Was
broken
it my
thumb.
left hand or my right?
Jim, are you left-handed or right-handed? Did I mark that in your sheet?
Me?
No, I'm talking about Jeremy. Jeremy,
Uh,
right-handed or left-handed?
It doesn't say, so I'm assuming right-handed.
So he shanked you. The way you're laying, that is your left hand. He broke your left thumb. But now, since he let go, he kind of flopped over to a side. So now you have a free strike to hit him. But at the same time, if you're going to swing, he's reaching out with his claw to see if he can grab a hold of you.
I probably swing at pretty much at the right claw to try and get it to let go of my right.
Actually, do you have... I think I gave you... No, I didn't. Oh, are you ready, Jeremy?
Yep.
So he goes to reach for you, and the crab seems kind of blind. like he's just kind of pinching at the air with his right claw.
Oh, look at him. So cute.
All right, what are you guys doing?
Well, I said I was going to use my free hand to swing at the claw, the other one, try and break my other.
All right, do an unarmed attack.
What, strength?
Yep.
Nope.
Damn.
What am I doing? I went this way. Yeah, with a 5, you just kind of whack it. Doesn't do anything. But when you hit it, you feel like it, it kind of pinched the skin. So you're going to have some bruising. So this crab's kind of doing like the Zoidberg thing now. Click, click, clack, 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 clack. Because he can't see, he's just pinching out in front of him. Alright, Jeremy, what are you doing?
Another swing.
Or are you swinging?
I'm gonna try to hit the other claw and not hit him.
What? Why would you do that?
Gotta try.
Take it out at the shoulder.
He's not on top of the crab anymore.
Oh, he's not? Oh, well shit. Yeah, I'm gonna hit it then. I'm gonna bonk it right on top of its head.
Alright, let's do your attack roll then.
Disadvantage or?
No, this you're not trying to do accuracy. You're just trying to fucking whack at this thing. So you hit it and it does nothing. Like it vibrates in your horn vibrates in your hand. You're like, oh shit.
Yep.
So the crab lets go though of the wrist. As a reaction, he's gonna retreat. Retreat is where he puts his arms up over his face to hide in the shell.
Alright. Let's get the hell out of here.
Because the crab did not like the vibration. It's funny, this crab, passive perception is 10. So he wouldn't have been able to see you at all. Unless you were like in it. Alright, Ed, what are you doing?
They let go and ran away.
No, it let go and it just put its claws in front of its face. Like you like playing peekaboo. It kind of went, oh shit, I'm getting attacked.
I don't have any weapons on me, dude.
No, but when we looked around your perception, you saw that, you're in a ship that wrecked. So there's pieces of wood and stuff like that. And some of it has jagged edges, so like if you grabbed a piece of wood, it's a 1d8 improvised weapon.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. 1d8.
So you have advantage because his face is covered. And it doesn't see you, so you're gonna roll 3d20. Because you're flanking, and he can't see you.
Let's see if this works. Do I need to roll any more?
No.
But why didn't it roll the damage?
Did you turn it on with the? You have to click on the gear and it says roll with damage. And you crit, so 2d8.
But I gotta find the roll with damage again.
Yeah, if you click on, I think it's in the gear. If you hit the gear and scroll
It
down.
is. So just what you said, 2d.
2d8. And are you leaving the wood in there? Or are you just kind of
Yeah,
poking it like a spear?
I'd probably stab him with it. Like, go, wait. That
So you just kind of use it like a stake to a vampire.
Yeah.
All right, so he's got a stake in there. He's actually let me roll this real quick. Okay. All right, Jeremy.
Ow.
He's still. No, that's not damage.
Okay.
That's something else. So he's got a. He's got. So you're gonna be with advantage if you're gonna swing because he's protected.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit that wood, the wood piece. See if I can lodge it deeper in.
All right, with advantage.
Advantage. 15.
Oh, so you hit this thing and you're pushing it through, and you see the crab just kind of like perks up a little bit. Like that hurt. So he is. Uh-oh. So he scuttles. Scuttle is a bonus action. The crab moves half speed in a straight line.
So no.
Basically, he is. You remember how the crab was on the beach earlier?
Mm-hmm.
He scuttles to the back end of the boat, and he goes in the sand.
Oh, shit.
He's out. He's done.
Coward.
Like, if you would have hit him the first time, you would have killed him right there. He had 10 health left.
Damn. So close.
Alright, so out of combat, you got a broken thumb, and he has cuts on his other wrist.
Hmm.
What you guys doing?
I guess I'm gonna take him back to the village, get him healed up.
I'm probably dusting myself off, fixing my hair.
Alright, discuss. Like, Jeremy, you're watching him do this, you're like, ugh.
King nobles.
But you can't be too mad at him because of another reason. You,
I guess so.
you remember your flaw?
Oh yeah.
Like, goddamn nobles. But okay, I understand.
Yeah, it's just how they are.
Alright. What's your guys' plan of action?
I'd probably find another piece of.
So, Jeremy, you see him, he's searching around. And you see him grab a piece of wood. What do you do?
Try to see what he's looking for.
You,
What's going on, man? What's up?
so you see him looking. It looks like he's looking for something.
I try to help, I guess. What's going on, man? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for another piece of wood to defend myself from the next crab we run in. I ain't gonna be dragged around through the dirt again.
Fair enough. I mean, you could get a piece of wood, or you can come with me back to the village, and we can get you a real weapon.
Fine, we'll go.
Yeah. Wow, I was not expecting that. You're gonna follow a commoner. He's gonna take you to a village, and you're willing to go. All right, Jeremy, do another Constitution.
All right.
Please be above a 10.
Ah, I fucked that up. I just read ideal again.
Damn it, son of a bitch.
So Ed, you're looking over at Jeremy, and you see him. He's like, and when he pukes up, you see it's just shards of mushroom, and it's got some like nice, clear green liquid with it. Ed, die again.
No, I'm having flashbacks to Korea.
Big facts.
Yeah, Jeremy, you're starting to get exhausted, dude. Why did you listen to Zeus?
Jesus. Always doing some shit, some weird shit.
All right, so what are you guys doing? Since Jeremy's over here puking up shrooms.
I go back to looking for another weapon. Because apparently this guy ain't gonna make
You want to do a strength check to see if you can just rip a board up?
Nope.
So yeah, you're pulling on it, and you're like, damn, this boat's actually really good. I must have commissioned this. Roll wisdom. Boom. All right. Let me go to your story. I'm going to put this in your thing, and you can read it whenever. It's going to be on like your main page, your bio and info. So if you look at the tabs at the top, you have bio and info, characters, attributes, and abilities.
Yep.
It's going to be under your bio and info. So your ring makes sense now.
Yep.
Oh shit.
And the last part, you might have commissioned this ship.
It was new.
Was. Now it's a wreck.
All right, Jeremy, you are able to catch your breath from throwing up, stand back up, do your big stretch. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Now we're gonna head back to the village. Alright.
You're gonna you gonna tell him to do it, or are you gonna
Yeah,
ask? Are you gonna?
I'm just gonna say, hey, follow me if you want to get to the village. Just a little warning in advance. There's a very horny turtle there. You'll know which one when you get there.
What do you think about that?
Are you even sober? A horny turtle in a village in the woods? What did you drink?
a long story. I can tell you about it if you want.
I just got to contemplate whether or not his character would want to know. But if you look at your bond, Ed, that should give you your answer.
Trying to figure out how that actually would work. Because I can see it going both ways with that word.
Oh, I guess you don't know that he's from your place yet.
No, I don't.
But he is a common folk. You can tell by what he's wearing, he's a common folk.
I don't want to hear your long tales.
Alright.
And I'm assuming at this point there are nothing else to suit as a piece of wood. Like my piece of wood.
With that, there's a chest in the ship. Like where you were being strapped down, there was a chest in there because he kept running you into it.
Locked, I assume.
I don't know.
Oh, I'll go check. Is it locked?
No, there's no lock, but the clasp on it is already open. Jeremy, you see him doing this.
Hey man, there's not really anything else in there. You can check if you want, but all we found was a captain's log.
I look anyways.
So you open it up, and it's empty. But it does have the outline of where the book was sitting. Because this is sitting like mid-deck. Like there's a whole nother deck underneath in the sand.
Okay. Just buried.
Yeah.
I guess I'll reluctantly follow him, muttering if I had more power I wouldn't have to listen to this.
Let's see if I heard that.
You gonna roll perception?
Oh,
Well,
that's advantage. My bad.
well, still with a 19, because you still take the first one.
Yeah.
You definitely hear him saying that.
What was that?
What was what?
Did you say something about you wouldn't have to listen to this?
I just point to the pile of vomit.
I guess that's fair. Alright, let's go.
So you're walking through the woods. Basically, Ed. So when you're walking through this, you could tell that it's pretty thick, dense woods. There's real no clearings. But as you approach the opening to the gate, you see barricades like someone established. Basically, it looks like a war front.
Ooh.
Oh, by the way, Do it a perception check, uh, Jeremy.
All right. Oof.
So you don't know where Jimmy's at. Jimmy's gone. So ignore Jimmy up here.
All right.
So as you enter the camp, so this whole entire area inside here, you could see that they have 6 huts. Each one has some kind of specialty. Like you could see that there's a storage shed, there's a blacksmith, one that looks like they're cooking, another one that is completely trashed, and another one that just smells like sex.
Oh God. Jimmy, you sick fuck.
So when you when you arrive, you know, Dredd does his normal shit. You brought a friend.
Yeah, one of the guys. That was just the noise that we heard.
He looks like
What's his
you.
name? Yeah, I think we're from the same village. He looks familiar. I'm not sure from where though.
So Dredd walks up to you, Ed, and puts his hand out and says, "Hi, I'm Dredd." I love the silence.
Hey, be cool.
Ed, are you doing that on purpose?
Yes and no.
Actually, roll me an insight check. Let me double check your stuff. With a 17, the markings on this turtle looks very, very recognizable. You know the breed or his lineage.
What was that? You went broken up.
With a 17 insight,
Yeah.
when you look at this turtle's got blue tiger stripes. You've seen these type of stripes on a special lineage of turtles. You know, like this family group, because as you look around the camp, you can only see technically there's 5 turtles you can see right now, and all of them have some kind of blue tiger stripes to them. And you know, I gotta give you more information. Hold on. Oh, that is wrong character. This one. Oh, so just to let you know, this story happens the same time as our other campaign.
Ah,
So when you went to Museum, once you read your thing,
mhm.
not you, Jeremy.
Ooh.
When you were talking with the king, he had artifacts and books based on a turtle, a great turtle. That's where you recognize it from.
God, it sounds like I fucked up.
So he has his hand out and he's looking at you, and you just kind of give him this look like you know him. And Dredd says, "Are we gonna have an issue?" And then when he says that, you look over at near the fire and you see this turtle. He's laying on his back. Looks over at you and just smiles.
I have bad feelings about this.
What's going on?
I don't know. Your friend was looking at me like he wants to eat us, or he knows something we don't.
Hmm. You trying to eat them?
I'd probably like snap out of the daze, going, "No, I thought I recalled something. No issues."
Hmm.
Like, but I try to make it. How do I say this? Like more of that. I try to put the heroic air.
So Dredd sticks his head out a little bit towards you, Jeremy, and goes, "You can roll perception, see if you can hear this."
Alright. Me or him?
You, Ed.
Nope, I ain't hearing shit.
So, so this asshole looks kind of rich. Do you know what his deal is?
He's some kind of noble. I'm not actually sure who he is, though. My brain's still kind of fuzzy. At least from my...
So Ed, you definitely hear Jeremy speak, because Jeremy's not a very quiet person. But you do hear him say, "We're from the same city." All right, so Ed, you see a turtle finally. He rolls over, the one that was smiling at you. He rolls over and comes over to you. He just has this grin like he's high as shit. And Dredd tells you, don't eat anything he gives you. That's Zeus. And you see Zeus, he starts wiggling his fingers, and a little flower pops on the ground. Picks it up and hands it to you. But he's just smiling at you. You take this flower?
I take it like cautiously, if that makes sense. It's like I've been told don't eat it, but here's a flower.
Okay, and then what do you do with it?
I'd probably just look at it, see what it is.
So you look at it, it looks like a dandelion. But it's golden. Like it's like,
shiny.
yeah. It's kind of like the sun in your hand, but it's not like too bright that you can't look at it. But it is a gorgeous flower. And then you hear Dredd, you hear him say, "You son of a bitch." So Dredd goes back to his hut, which is the one that's right next to you. And Jeremy, he hands you two potions.
Potions. All right.
You know.
The healing potions.
Yeah, he tells you, "Hey, this the same ones as last night."
Shit, I'm gonna get wrecked.
So you hear that, Ed. But you look at it, like, you can see the potions that he handed him. It looks like a normal healing potion. But you hear Jeremy say, "I'm gonna get wrecked."
mean to tell me you got wrecked off healing potion?
Yep, they are. They pack a little bit more punch than they should as healing potions.
And then you hear Dread snicker. Stupid humans. Alright, so what are you doing with your potions, Jeremy? You gonna just put them in your bag?
Yeah, they're going in my backpack.
You can name them whatever you want. Because Dread doesn't have a name for it.
Never clear.
And the funny thing is, Jeremy didn't tell you what it does. He just tells you you can get fucked up.
I've already seen the after effects.
But, so, Ed, your stomach starts growling, and you smell this wonderful smell coming from the fire. And you see a turtle sitting there. She's not stirring. She's just kind of wiggling her hand, but you see the spoon going in circles. But it smells legit. It's like when you roll up to someone's barbecue and you can smell the barbecue before you even get in the house.
Don't remind me. That sounds like my dinner last night. I had the ribs on the.
Yeah, that's what you're smelling. Because, Jeremy, you know what they're cooking.
Yeah.
It was the one that splattered everywhere.
Oh. It's probably delicious though.
But Ed, you're hungry. But when you walk up to this turtle, Ed, she looks at you, the spoon stops, and she's frozen. Jeremy, you gonna do anything?
Well, I'm lawful good, so I'll probably tell him like, "Hey, there's exotic meats in there."
But the turtle stopped cooking. And Dread's not doing anything.
Oh, yeah, by the way, she's very shy.
So she hears you talk, and she like peeks her head up to look to see, make sure it was you. And then she goes back to cooking, but kind of giving you the eye, Ed.
I'm trying to decide whether I'm more interested in the spoon or in the.
And then as you're trying to figure it out, you see the turtle that gave you the flour come back over. He has a jug in his hand, takes a big old swig, and then you just see him. He just kind of goes, "Tim," like he doesn't say it, but you just see him. He just falls over. And you see the jug frozen in his hand, it's just pouring on his face.
This fucking idiot, he's still taking the fucking.
And he's just frozen in place. And you hear Dread, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." He runs to his hut, grabs a little vial, dumps it in Zeus's mouth. Zeus perks up real quick, and you just see him smile.
Stoner.
Fucking Zeus. I don't know why he keeps drinking that shit. So what are you guys doing?
I'm sorry, I really am having flashbacks to Korean soju.
So just to let you know, backstory. Each one of these turtles has a personality trait of my first character.
Actually, what's your character's actual name? Because I always think of Oogway every time I think about it.
Sharika the Life.
Sharika the Life, okay.
You know, Acre spelled backwards?
Yeah.
He was a life cleric that had a drinking problem, that had a lot of specialties. And he was extremely horny.
Oh, that explains all of them.
Basically, I had
Six at least.
at one point I had a shell that looked like Bowser's. They got modified, and they would
Hmm.
they had a guy that had extreme strength.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he'd roll strength, it'd be over 30,
Yeah.
and he would throw me down hallways to kill people
Oh.
as I was drunk or high.
God, this sounds like one of my old. I think it was second edition campaign. Might have been an early third.
And I was a turtle with blue tiger stripes with a fucked up face. He got caught on fire trying to put one out. He was an outlander that lived in the woods. He tried putting out a fire and ended up getting fucked up.
Damn.
But you could still tell he had the stripes
Yeah.
because it's like a brilliant blue. It's like neon blue.
It's like blue turtle shell blue.
No, like Leonardo band blue.
Okay. Like a lighter blue. Okay.
Like it's pretty. Like you could definitely know that not every breed of turtle has that. Because most turtles you see are like red stripes. That's why it connected with you, Ed.
What was that?
That's why you recognize the stripes.
I've seen them before.
You've seen the blue stripes before, because with you being a noble, you know that most turtles are pretty bland in color. They're brown, and if they have a stripe, it's usually red or like a tint of green.
And usually not up walking and cooking.
Yeah. Roll perception, Ed.
I like that.
Yeah, but you don't. Jeremy, actually, where you're standing.
Should I roll one too?
No, because you see her. You know who it
Oh
is.
wait, is fucking Felicia.
So, but on the back of your neck, you feel like air, like someone's smelling. It's like, like you feel that on the back of your neck.
Okay.
What do you do?
I'd probably get startled that there's something all of a sudden behind me while I'm staring at soup and a spoon that's not being stirred.
You jump and you hear a giggle. And then you hear Dread go, "Go away!" And then you hear the sigh. So if you turned around, you'd see a sad turtle walking away. And you see Dread.
Probably try to shake the shivers out.
So you don't turn around.
Yeah, you.
Like, what do you mean turn back around?
Like, did you turn around to see the turtle?
Yeah. You have that. You know that feeling when you turn around and you see something like, oh, what the fuck's going on?
So Jeremy, she walks past you, and you can tell she's sad. But she doesn't do anything to you.
I I look at Ed and I'm like, all right, so that was the one I warned you about. Keep an eye out for her.
She has a +8 in stealth.
Jesus.
I mean, you gotta think about it. Jeremy basically got raped when you guys first came to the camp. You don't remember that?
Yeah.
No. Uh, so Ed, you do hear the hammering of an anvil.
Oh yeah.
Like it,
Weapons.
like you hear it. It's not like a normal like you've been around blacksmiths. You've had swords commissioned. You've had a specialty sword at one time. But like you hear it's like clank, 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 clank. Like it's someone that's pissed off just beating the shit out of stuff. And that's coming from behind you.
Like, this way.
Yeah, it's the see Andel. Like it's so her that hut is kind of open. It's like a Hawaiian hut, so it's got like stilts with a like palm topping. So you could see this turtle. It's just that the back's towards you and they're just beating the shit out of something.
Well, now I'm interested. Something's being hammered. I like shiny and new, right?
Roll a D100 to see which one you're in. You gotta choose high or low for food or weapon. So you want to say high is food, or
Yeah,
what?
we'll go high is my stomach and low is my interest in getting a new weapon. Something for defense. My stomach win.
Like the enticing of a weapon sounds good to you, but but man, you feel like you haven't eaten in
I'm
weeks.
starved.
So Spatula's sitting there staring at you like you're starting to like drool, like you're.
Is the base of my stomach also accompanying the drool?
Like you want to stick your hand in it. That's how hungry you are. So, but you notice there are bowls around the fire pit, and you could see that one of the bowls still has some of the residue from has the green liquid with some shrooms in it.
Wait, the pot has the same stuff that I saw on the floor a little while.
No, there's a bowl. Like there's a whole bunch of bowls around the fire pit, like that you would use the scoop to take food out. But you could tell that one of them still has the shit that he puked up.
Yeah, definitely don't want that ball.
Hey, do you say that out loud?
No.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
Like the specialist is not like how you're looking at the like. She's like he's gonna knock this over. She's like scooting closer to you because she doesn't know what you're doing.
I know, I'm trying to figure out how to say things while fitting the.
Fitting your character.
Yes.
And Jeremy, I need you to roll perception again.
All right. Oh, she's sneaking up behind me now.
And I need to roll.
Damn it.
Okay. You didn't feel nothing. But you know, you did see the turtle that he walked. You saw Andal just kind of like walk out like he was gonna go out to the woods, so you didn't think anything of it.
Alright.
I don't know if you remember who Andal was.
I wrote it down. So Handel is. Oh, that's the one that sets traps. Oh, shit. I needed that 3 to not be a 3 again. Oh, God.
So basically, you don't know anything about the turtles, Ed. I mean, you know, basically 4 of them. Actually, the only one you don't know is Andal, really.
Yeah.
Because, sorry, it was supposed to be Purity in that tent, not Andal. Andal was in there getting stuff.
Just taking shit.
But you could tell every turtle has a little specialty. Because, like, when you turned the. Like, when you were listening to the hammer, you could tell that Purity was moving her fingers and fire was, like, the heat of the furnace
Before.
was. When she wiggled her hands, the fire would just. Like, ignite. All right, Ed. So what are you doing? And actually, Jeremy, what are you doing? Because I know you've been just hanging out in the back, just watching the turtles.
I guess I should give him some kind of.
Because I know you're still playing your character, because that's what you would definitely do.
Yep. I'm gonna. Well, we need to figure out what to do. Like, how we're gonna finish our mission. So, oh, I didn't. Do I have the captain log?
Yes. Remember, you took it from him, because
Alright,
you asked for it.
I'm gonna give it to. I'm gonna give it to Ed. Tell him to gloss it over.
So you walk over. So Ed, he walks over to you. And what do you say, Jeremy?
Oh yeah, this is what was in that treasure chest, by the way. Figure you should maybe get a read on and see if you can remember anything.
Do you take it, Ed? Ed, die again.
Yeah.
You do. You do take it.
I accept the book and I go, what do we need to do to get some food?
So you see Dread heard you. He walks up, just grabs a bowl, dips it in there, takes a scoop. And Spatula looks like she got mad, hits him with the spoon. He's like, "Hey, I'm hungry." She shrugs it off and goes back to stirring. That's all you gotta do. You just have to, if you want it, just take it.
By a spoon.
So you see, he turns towards Spatula, and you can't recognize this, like, what they're talking about. She looks over at you, stops the spoon, and puts her hand out like go. Like, hurry up, let's do this.
Okay, I guess I grab a clean bowl and get a bowl.
Well, not all bowls, not all these bowls are, like, when you look at the bowls, they're not clean. But you could definitely, there was one of the bowls that was definitely covered in shit. Like, covered in it.
I'd probably grab the cleanest one I could.
Yeah. And then you stick it in?
Yep.
Alright, now I gotta look up. And you eat immediately.
I'd probably move somewhere to where I could sit down, eat, and peruse the log at the.
Well, it's kind of like logs. It's like a, like, I don't know if you ever did.
Fire.
Yeah, like you did Boy Scouts or anything where they have the logs sitting around the fire.
Yep.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah, so like a legitimate camp. Like I said, I'd probably get the bowl, sit down, and start eating as I'm.
Where's it at? Yeah, Jeremy. So you notice they both got food.
All right.
You know you're starting to get hungry because you threw up everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some food too.
Both of you roll perception.
Finally, I rolled above a 6.
Let's see what Jeremy
See.
gets.
Yeah, that's the real trick. Oh,
Yeah, you still don't hit it.
yeah.
So
But yeah.
so you see Jeremy sits there, takes a scoop out of it. Ed, but you see a turtle. He's sitting there. Looks like he's setting down like little mouse traps. Like he's just setting it around the camp. Like basically where Jeremy was standing, he's setting down traps. And with that perception roll, you're like you're thinking, is that for us? Is like what did I just walk into?
I'm just imagining like a Tom and Jerry episode, right?
That's about what'll happen.
So Jeremy, did you sit down next to Ed?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see Ed staring over in the distance at that turtle. Like you catch with you're sitting next to him. You look at him. You're like, what the fuck is he looking at? And you see him laying down traps.
Hey, Angel, put that away.
He froze, and then he scuttles away.
Bitch, he's doing it again. Freddy's doing it again. Trying to trap people.
Okay, which way did he run? He just kind of scuttled away. And then Ed, with your perception, when you looked in the soup, you can see it has a meat in it. But you can't really, like, no one knows what kind of meat it is because it's just like chunks of steak because it kind of looks like a beef stew. But when you look into it, it kind of has, like, you see, like, bug legs and feelers in it. You know, like, I was going to say cockroach, but it's like grasshopper legs.
Okay. Lucky cricket.
Yeah, essentially that's when you're looking into it, it kind of looks like it's got actual meat, some veggies, and bugs. But you look over at Jeremy, Jeremy's like, he's like gulping this shit down. Jeremy said, fuck it.
Yeah, it's about the gist of it.
So what do you do, Ed? Actually, would you like to do a nature check?
I don't know if I want to.
Because Jeremy knows what meat it is, so that's why he just kind of chugged it. Unless you're just going to follow suit. We watched him drink it. You're like, well, he didn't die.
Okay, let me do a high-low on this because I'm actually physically torn. It's like, am I hungry enough to not care? Or am I at the point that I want to know? We'll go high that I'm hungry enough to not care, low I want to roll the check.
Oh shit. Bottoms up.
You are starving.
I put the note, maybe I should ask later if I enjoy this. Or I should just ignore the...
But Jeremy, when you're...
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Jeremy, when you take your gulp, it didn't have the kick that it did last night.
Oh, that's good.
But it was
It's not.
but it was a lot better than what you had last night.
All right. So, hey. So what's in it this time?
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to Dread.
So Dredd looks over at you. It's like, you remember that the asshole you're with that exploded the monkey?
Yeah.
So the chunks we just kind of added to the pot, and we we didn't let Zeus. And you look over at Zeus, he's just smiling. We didn't let him put shrooms in it this time.
Oh yeah. He's a
But
he's a special one.
that flour, and he's looking over at you, Ed. We definitely put some of those in there, and then you probably didn't notice that there was bugs in it. Well, that's those are good crunchy bugs.
Hmm.
Do you want to check to see if he's lying?
Me?
Yeah. Or Ed, either one of you.
That's
Would
inside,
that
right?
be an insight?
Yeah, that's an inside check.
Yeah, spirit. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, it's a 9. I'm gonna just assume he's not lying.
You gonna roll it? No, you only rolled
He
it.
did.
He
It's
rolled.
under mine.
Wow. I'm surprised that. Yeah, both of you are like, oh, he's telling the truth.
It is what it is.
I think I'm now at the point I'm hungry and I don't care.
Yep.
You guys will have effects later because, you didn't ask the right questions.
Oh no. What kind of flower is that?
You look over at Zeus. You see Zeus is like moving his eyebrows up and down, like, you know.
Oh no.
Oh, so the golden flower, that's a fortitude flower. It gets rid of the stank of monkey.
Fortitude flower?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So, fortitude. So essentially, if you go into combat, you're gonna get a +2 as long as that's still in your system.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get a +2 to your armor
Oh, dope.
until it goes away. So, Ed,
Yeah.
you can add that to your flower. That it's gonna give you a +2 in armor. It's a 42 flower. So saying you had that flower and you just actually the flower's gonna have something different, but it's still a +2 in armor, but something else will change.
It's now a +2 armor flower.
Yeah, he just tells you it's a 42 flower. It gives you an armor bonus. You feel. You see him.
I'm invincible.
You see him sitting there. He's like trying to flex, but he, turtle with arms. He can't really like.
Yeah, you can't really flex.
Jeremy, roll nature check again.
Alright. Let's get it. Oof. What's my nature so low?
Because you're good at surviving in the nature.
That's not good.
Yeah, you don't notice it. Okay. Ed, you can roll a nature check if you want. Yeah, since you drank your bowl.
Oh.
Like your aftertaste, Jeremy, it's like that's some pretty good meat. That was actually really good. Bugsy and crunchy, man, that was superb.
Good job, Cookie. Spatula.
Her head goes in her shell. You startled her. Or Ed, do you even want to know what the aftertaste is?
Sorry, I was reading the captain's log. What's going on?
I want you to roll a nature check because Jeremy did a nature check to see the aftertaste of this food, And he thinks it's superb. The meat was delicious. The bugs were crunchy. Mm, it is legit. Let's make sure your bonuses are right. So with a 17, the bug legs were a little sharp. Like you could feel like little cuts in your mouth. You know that wasn't just a normal bug.
Shark bug.
Like it's like. Have you ever eaten scorpion or spider?
No. I've had grasshopper and ants.
How big of a grasshopper? The ones with.
Yeah, the good sized one, but they didn't really bother me any. I do know some people who said like you left like almost like micro cuts.
Well, you know how it has. It's kind of like an earthy taste.
Yeah.
But it also tastes like grass. That's what's in your mouth right now.
I'm at the point to where, but my belly's full.
Mm-hmm. But you did roll a 17 for your nature check. All right, so what are you guys doing? Actually, I gotta set a timer.
I'm not sure. Like, so are we supposed to be? So we're trying to figure out. Oh, I'm gonna go over to.
Yeah.
How do I not have? So I don't have the blacksmith turtle's name.
It's purity.
That's purity. Okay, let me write that one down.
And you know that one does fire.
Yep.
Or did you put it under Andel?
No, I had Andel under traps and stuff.
Okay.
And he wears a tool belt.
Oh yeah. Oh Ed, so that when you did that 21 perception on Andel over there, setting the traps.
Yeah.
You saw him open up his tool belt and he was talking, like it looked like he was talking to something in his pocket, and he closed it up, laying out more traps. He'd flip it open again, he'd talk to it, close it again.
Crazy turtle.
You don't even know the half of it, brother. So I guess I'll go into like an explanation of them, I guess.
All right.
Andel is talking to a mouse in his pocket that apparently tells him to try to trap anyone, and everyone.
Mint skin boo stand ready.
Sorry, what?
I showed my age, didn't I?
I couldn't hear what you were saying.
I said Minsk and boo stand ready.
If I don't know that one, yeah, you showed your age that time. I don't think I've ever heard that.
I think I killed the DM.
I'm back. We old. All right, Jeremy, you can keep going.
All right, and Felicia, she's she's a humper. Keep an eye on her.
Ed roll,
Uh,
Ed roll perception, because he's pointing at the turtles, like you know where Andel's at, or you saw where Andel was. So when you look across the way, you can see Felicia. She looks like she's blowing kisses at you. So you know which turtle's which.
Okay. Hold on,
all right.
where's my note?
Yeah, like this is a lot of note taking, so that's why I always have notebooks with me.
Yeah, that's what I started doing now. I just keep one right next to me.
Oh, that's because I fucked you in like the last campaign.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, there is when we do the other campaign, there is a trivia thing. Let's see who remembers
Shit.
what.
This will be interesting, yeah.
I have to transfer this to a Word doc later.
Well, you can pull.
Alright,
So in the
Andel's the trap turtle, Felicia's the horny turtle. Zeus is
Yep.
the high turtle?
Yep, he's the high turtle.
what else does he do?
He also he can grow plants and stuff. He's like a nature magician, nature wizard.
So when he
Kind of
point when he
druid.
points when he points over at Zeus, he's still laying on his back, but he's sitting there just smiling, just spacing off. Then you see him hurry up and look at the ground, and you see his fingers start going. You see a yellow shroom pop up. Shaking his head. Yeah.
Be very careful of anything he gives you. In fact, just don't take it.
And now you tell him. You know that golden.
Well, Dread warned him the first time.
Not to, Dredd said not to eat.
That's true. Hmm. And then we also have Spatula. She's very shy. She's a cook. She does a lot of it's like telekinetic work with her magic. She likes to move stuff. Then we have Purity, who does more fire magic. She's a blacksmith. Her weapons are alright.
And then you hear the scuff. She's sitting there beating the shit out of Anvil, but she heard you say that, and she's like,
And then, of course, we got Dread, Mastermind. He's very resourceful. He's got all the books and everything. Kind of keeps these guys in line for the most part.
but what is he? What did he do to help you guys? What item did he give you?
Oh, he gave us the healing potions.
So what is his specialty?
And- Oh, healing. He's a healer. Very very learned. He has many great books of from the House of Learned Doctors.
Yeah, that's how skilled my turtle was. His old lady only set 6 eggs though.
Oh.
That's why they only have each turtle has one magic.
And I was gonna say they usually lay like hundreds of them.
She was a basic turtle and
Uh,
no real distinction. Besides, she had eyelashes, like really big eyelashes,
That's
and she
how
likes.
you know
That's
she
what
was a
got.
girl.
Well, she also liked to blow turtle dick.
Oh,
I think she was a prostitute
it worked
Low
out
egg
for him.
count.
because I think someone paid her to seduce me,
Huh.
being in seclusion, because the Outlander's usually secluded.
Yeah.
Probably one of your own party men.
Well, one of
They're just like, hey, hey, turtle prostitute.
The bard. It's always the bard.
all right. So what are you guys doing?
I just read the cap. Like I legitimately just read the captain's log.
Alright, so what do you think?
Well, we definitely need. Apparently, we need to find herbs, spores, mushrooms, and
Well, I got some pelts.
Oh, so you gonna tell them about the rest of the book?
Oh, a lot of it got ruined in the whole scuffle. So we're missing pieces of it.
So Ed, when you look at the back of this book, there's other pages, but when you look at the pages, it's like whoever was writing on this wasn't very smart on what type of ink to use. It wasn't magical ink. It wasn't.
waterproof.
Yeah.
It wasn't a right in the rain book.
Yeah. So basically, the first two pages, the ones that were protected by the cover, are the only ones that survived. Like it's a full book. It's just the rest of the pages are ruined.
Mm-hmm.
And they tried using magic on it, and it couldn't get pulled back.
It's not that they were ripped out; it's just they were damaged.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, they're damaged, but it can be repaired. But
Not by either me or Jimmy. We're not.
because you remember what the Arcana was, right?
Well, it's not. It's not magical. That's all. I
'Cause it was,
remember. Like, the main thing is magical.
Yeah, it was an Arcana of 20 to find out how to retrieve it.
Huh. You want to give it a shot, Ed?
Remember, both you and Jimmy rolled was a 6 and a 7.
Yeah. It's really fucking well.
What Jimmy?
I guess.
Jimmy nat 20 like 4 times, like 4 in a row. When he was killing the monkeys.
Oh yeah, that was. I only got 120. I was at survival roll the one time.
I guess I would roll it to see about trying to remember how to get the rest of the book story. You said Arcana?
Yeah.
Damn.
So with a 23, you know that there's plants out and about that you could get. That basically, it's like when you do graphite paper. If you rub it against it, you can see the imprint from it writing.
22 or 23?
23.
I had a 1 on it already.
Yeah.
You got +2 to that.
Now I have a +4 to Arcana. At that.
No.
No, you should have a +3 to Arcana. Or
Yeah, so that'd be a 22.
It's a 23 because you're proficient. So if you look at your skills and you see the little check mark, or the little boxes, click check mark on Arcana.
And that brings it up to a 3.
Yes. And you rolled a 20, or you rolled a
I rolled a 19.
19, so
it'd
20,
be
22. Sorry. But still,
That's why I was like, wait, did I mess up one of my other stats?
no. So you definitely know there's a plan out there. It's, math ain't good with me.
Math is good with me. I think that's why I enjoyed this game back in the day.
Yeah, so with the 22, you know there's a plant out there that you could press up against it to see the outline of what was written in there.
So I'd probably sit there and go, what was the name of that plant we need? We need this plant, and the plant will bring it.
So
Ooh,
Dread hears you talking. A plant that you could press to recall stuff. Looks over at Zeus, and they start talking, but you can't understand what they're saying. Actually,
language.
no, you can't understand what they're saying. Someone can. Who was it?
Would it be the Dragonborn?
Nope, no one has it.
Yeah,
But you can learn. I mean, he's got books, remember?
it's true.
No, he sits there, talks to Zeus. Zeus, like, Jeremy, when you're looking at Zeus, he's making faces like you haven't seen. You've only seen him smile, hi, and then he looks up to the sky trying to think. And you see him wiggle his fingers,
Mm-hmm.
and this he starts. It looks like a little bush. It's black, with thorns on it.
All right. So
It's like a rose. So it's like a rose bush without the roses. Like it's just thorns.
Hmm.
Then he stops. He makes the bush. Bush is probably the size of the bowls you just ate.
Okay. I got a 13 on my nature check.
Not high enough.
I don't know what that is. Hey, Ed, is that the bush you were talking about?
But looking at it, you don't want to touch it with your bare hands. With a 13, I'll give you that.
All right.
And you just see Dread's face. He has a face. He's complexed. Like where did this come from? Like where? I need both of you to do con checks, con saves.
Oh. Oh shit. Huh.
So you both are good. Ed with a 18. You're fine. And Jeremy, I don't think we no. So with yours, like you start regurgitating, like the legs are coming back up.
Oh.
You're like it's like you found like a hair in your soup.
No. It's coming back. Oh, it's making a return trip.
But Ed's like, that was good. Like,
Never.
but Ed, you see him just like he's like.
Do I see the little black thorny bush?
Yeah, you saw him make the bush.
Would that be inside or nature? That would still be in nature for me too.
Yeah. All right, so you know if you would have just straight up grabbed this thing, you would have been poisoned. You would have got poison blight.
Oh shit.
You need to find a way. It is basically it's briar thorn.
Ah,
If you picked it up or stepped in it, it's gonna be stuck to you for a while. Only way to get it off is burning it.
Shit.
but was it the plant we were looking?
It is definitely a plant you're looking for.
Like, well, that's definitely the plant we need, but I don't know how to use.
Hmm.
Well, Dred's listening to you, and he's going. He went back to his little hut, and you see him he's throwing shit. He's looking for stuff, and he's like, hmm. So he goes over where Ando was setting those traps. He grabs one of those traps. It's probably 3 inches long, like the mouth of the trap.
Mm-hmm.
Grabs a hold of it, picks it up over the plant, and snaps it shut on it. Cuts a little bit off of it. He's staring at you guys like, I don't know how to grab this.
I'm gonna see if I can find some tongs or something, maybe, at the Purity's shop.
So when you walk over where Purity's at, she just kind of she gives you the eyes like, go, you can go fuck off.
Hey, you got any like pincers or tongs or something?
She shrugs.
I'll just look around, see if I. Was that a
That's investigation. I think this is your first investigation.
Is it?
Oh, actually,
Alright.
you've done investigation before.
Yeah, I was gonna say because that's one of my. So I found out it's one of my pluses.
And you rolled a what? 15? Yep. There's a pair of tongs. You know, it's the tongs they use to move coal and shit. And grab the handles of swords.
All right, so I grab that and take it over and pick up the piece that got cut off with it.
Okay. And
Hold
then,
open the book.
are you gonna hold the book, Ed, or what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna set it down to the ruined page. It's like opened on.
Roll a dexterity, Jeremy, to see how hard you press this thing. Because you're trying to be gentle, right?
Yep.
So roll dex. So you gently glide it across, and you start seeing the imprints of what was written.
All right. Getting places now.
It's all on here. Okay, so I need to right to here. So as you rub this against it, yeah, the material, it shows up on what other things you need to get, and it starts going over like there's actual other civilizations. Like it tells you that you need to collect magical items, specimens of animals, raw materials from creatures, meat.
Where did my pencil go? Okay. All right, you said raw materials,
Well,
magic items.
I added it to the book.
Okay.
Unknown knowledge.
Good.
Unknown knowledge. Oh, we can You
Because
probably get that.
remember, Dredd told you what happened, Jeremy.
He told me what happened to what?
The night of the shipwreck.
Oh yeah, there was loud crackling, and then there was a bunch of turtle shells ended up on the beach. Just empty turtle shells. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Those bowls that we've been eating out of were dead turtle shells. We don't know where they're coming from, but all of the turtles that are supposed to be coming here for this, for their breeding, there's nobody here except for these 6.
And what about the storm?
Uh,
Or do you even roll history so I could just tell you?
yeah, it's easier because I was looking at the actual. Oof. Yeah, 10.
All right, so you recall that when you looked out in the ocean, that it's reversed. Like the big fish are up near shore,
That's,
and there's no coral reefs really close to the island. And then the storm originated from the other isles, but didn't really hit the island.
yeah, so they were able to see it, but nothing. It didn't affect them anyway.
So like a storm off on the coast.
Yeah, it was off in the
Sort of.
distance. Because Jeremy, you remember that there's other isles. There's not just this one.
Yeah, there's 5.
Yes. Each one of them is a different climate.
Yeah.
So a little metagaming. You remember how in the other story, the orbs just made the world in chaos?
Yeah.
So when the orbs were pulled, that's where this is affecting. It's affecting places.
So we're seeing the effects of it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay.
While your other team is trying to recover them.
Okay. I have a full belly. We have a upgraded captain's log. I still need. I go poke my nose in the blacksmith.
Yeah, she looks at you like. And Dred walks over. He's like, "Don't mind her." So I'm guessing you need supplies too.
Trying to figure out how I would say this. Because you said I already have chainmail, correct?
So yours isn't like really chainmail. It's like decorative, like when you watch like you see all the knights, they're in like complete metal, and then you see the nobles that have like chainmail on their arms, and they're like
Yeah,
wearing a leather
hard
chest.
chainmail, where it's more decorative than it actually is.
Yeah, so essentially you're wearing leather armor. And when you look around, there's not really any armor. There's hides and stuff like that inside this hut. But there is a giant variety of weapons.
Yeah, I want to look at the weapons.
All right, hold on. Let me.
For a way to defend myself.
Weapon information. Do a wisdom check.
Just straight wisdom.
Yep. Damn, you don't know it. So basically, you're looking at the weapons. None of them really catch your eye like you really want to use this weapon.
Mm-hmm.
But I gave you the list of all the weapons you have a choice from. And this is where it clicked for Jeremy.
Yeah. Yeah, I just picked a random weapon to be honest. I wonder. Well, could I go through and try weapons?
I mean, you can go through and you can do another wisdom check since you're probably walking with him. There you go. You've been walking around with this hammer. You know, you could use it, but it doesn't feel quite right to you.
Yeah,
But you were looking around, you notice that, like, the bows are catching your eye. It's making you tingle.
I do like the tingle. Alright, so I walk over and I grab a bow.
And then, like, you notice the sword and shield, like, yeah, that could suffice, but it's not tingling like a bow.
Sweet. I'm gonna return the hunting horn and grab the bow.
So this gives time for Ed to decide what weapon he's choosing. So you're damaged, Jeremy.
Yep.
I'm gonna post this in there if I can get this thing to work. Nope, not that one. Not that one. This one. It's see, print this page. It's a 1d6 piercing. Oh, Ed, so when you're looking at these weapons, they're not,
Yeah.
I mean, they're weapons, but they're not like,
Top of the line, like I would go find.
yeah. But when you look at these weapons, you could be like, oh, wow, you can actually upgrade these.
There's room for improvement.
Yep.
Let's see. I know I'm not a heavy. I'm not that strong.
And a bow is still strength, right?
No.
Those are dex.
Dex.
How do I remove weapons?
You just delete it. Or you need me to do it.
Yeah, I don't know
Hit
how to do
the
it.
Gotta hit the
lock
cog.
button,
Oh, the lock.
and then
There
there
we
should
go.
be a little red dot next to it.
Got it. There we go.
And I posted your thing in your.
Oh yeah, I'm reading it now.
Alright, Ed.
Shielded.
Like yours could get real violent. Once you get upgraded.
I think I'm gonna try this because it just sounds cool.
But you gonna
What's a charge blade?
So charge blade. So as you attack, you basically get bonuses. It has 2 modes. Isn't that what Jimmy has?
I think so.
No, he has a switch.
Switch? Yeah, you got this. Yeah, switch.
So it has 2 modes. It has an axe, which is a 1d12, and a sword and shield that you can break it off, which is a 1d6, but it gives you +2 to AC because you get a shield.
Okay, so it's more of a heavy weapon than
It could be a heavy weapon or it could be a finesse.
I'll try that one out. Unless I can make another wisdom to look around, but
Go ahead and do an insight check for saying you have this equipped.
nope.
You're like, this is fine.
This will do.
So, Jeremy, like it did the night before, for some reason the sun is setting quicker. Again. So it's starting to get dark.
Alright, well this is an unusual time to get dark again. It keeps doing that. We'll have to do another nature check. So if I know if I noticed anything about it.
If you want to. Because you know you haven't been rolling very good, so.
That's worth a shot though.
Alright,
Damn it!
alright, Ed, I added it to your thing. Yeah, Dread sees you staring up at the sky and is like, it's doing it again. What's
What's going on here?
So you see him, he goes back to his hut and he has a book and he's sitting there just reading it. Trying to see if he could recall any information.
What you got there, Dred?
It's one of the books my father wrote about how odd this world is. Just trying to see if there's anything in here.
What's it say?
So far, he hasn't written anything about the sky, but I'm only halfway through this. He you know the language that we speak. It's written in that, so it's a little rough to get through.
You got any books on how to read like your guys' language? Any translator?
Well, I speak your language, so try do a persuasion roll.
Alright.
Because he's at the point where he wants to, but he doesn't know if he should.
Come on, bud.
Let's
Figured
see.
that might be easier for.
I'll teach you common language, like common words, but there's not very many of us that reads this language.
Fair enough.
So Ed, you heard this whole conversation. And
Sorry, I'm setting up the weapon.
like with your what you know from your bio, uh, like you were around some of the language.
Whoops.
So basically, you'd have to set up two different types of weapons: one for the sword, and then one for the axe.
I was, but I forgot to take the proficient out because I don't know.
You'll know when you swing it, like you actually use it on something.
I know, but taking it out for.
Yeah. So you heard Jeremy trying to persuade Dredd to let him learn. You know, learn their ancient language.
Oh, I guess I would try and persuade him to let me learn along with. Because I can't have the commoner getting ahead of me. I won't say that part out.
So what do you say to Dredd?
I ask him if I may sit in and learn as well.
Oh, you want to learn the common language? Common words? Or do you want to learn more?
You should
I
try to
would
learn
like
more.
to learn more.
Hmm.
Persuasion, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are killing it
Well,
today with these.
a 10's not going to do it. I'll teach you guys some common words so that you can, you know, talk to these guys like thank you. You could say food. No.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna want to learn that one first.
No means no.
Yep.
This is going to be fun. So, as you guys were trying to talk to Dredd, as Dredd's reading, so even if you looked over his shoulder, you look at the book, and it's a bunch of just weird characters. And occasionally you would see something and you see something you can recognize, but you know it's not the English.
Hmm.
It's not common.
Yeah.
So
You can roll history.
let's see. No.
Actually, hold on. Let me make sure both of you. I think both of you are.
I'm shit at histories.
It's okay. I'm just, I think you know more about it than I. I skipped those lessons.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you guys couldn't recall, but like, you feel it. Like, I know what that means. But Yeah, really, basically, you couldn't be able to read it right now. We'll just say my first character knew 6 languages, but wrote in his native language to prevent people from stealing shit. He didn't care for money, he only cared for knowledge. So Spatula's been she's been cooking, just cooking, and you got Zeus still on his back. He's roll perception to see what Zeus is doing, if you want to. I don't know if Ed would care.
Good idea to always know where he's at. At all times. Damn.
So Jeremy, you really can't see what he's doing. Like the fire's kind of blazing. But Ed, when you look over there, he's making shrooms again. But the shroom that he's making it's a blue. It's a blue polka dotted shroom. Like, it's not like he's making a lot of them. He's just making a fairly large one.
You gonna say that out loud? Or?
I like how Ed just dies.
Staring at a random mushroom, I have no idea what it is. Nature.
So you gonna nature check it?
See if I know what it is.
Oh yeah, you know that that it's like a sleeping shroom. Saying
Got it.
like if you coat a weapon with it, you could put someone to sleep. If you eat it, you could go to sleep. If you eat a little bit of it, it's like a.
It's a melatonin shroom.
Do you say that out loud?
No. I just stay away from the shroom.
And then you see Spatula. She motioned to Zeus to hand it over.
Oh no.
You know, like like a 2-year-old would do the hand thing, like gimme, gimme, gimme. You see Zeus, he just kind of flings it at her. Like Jeremy, you see the blue shroom fly at her. She basically flips him off because he just kind of chucked it.
I yell at Dread, "Hey, what's that?"
Oh God. So you remember the other night we had it was called boom shrooms.
Yeah. I'm still reeling from that one.
These are doze rooms.
I'm not eating that.
I don't know. I just think you guys are weak. If you can't handle it. I gave you potions anyway, so it doesn't matter. And you see
yeah, we'll be alright.
Spatula's sitting there. She's just cutting it up, putting it in there. As it hits the pot, you guys smell it. It's a sweet aroma. It's like she's baking a cake.
If nothing else, it smells good.
Dread's over there yelling at Zeus. And Zeus basically just flips him off and stands up, goes back to his hut. Comes back with 3 more pitchers.
Oh shit.
And he does the whole like drunk offer thing, like like, so he's trying to offer you guys something to drink.
Oh snap. Hmm. You, you gonna take a swig? Ed?
I'm probably just staring at it.
It is.
Yeah,
It seems
basically,
like
he
a
you just
bad.
you see him smiling. He's like, "Come on." He's like that drunk friend that keeps drinking even though you know he's tanked.
just, just obliterated.
Huh. I was never. Who's that one guy from?
Hmm?
What was his name? The weapons guy that was in debrief in Korea. That was always freaking shot. You know exactly who I'm talking. Damn.
Oh man, yeah. Oh my god.
That's who this turtle reminds me of, right?
Just drunk as shit. I know he definitely showed up to debrief a couple of times. Still pretty fucked up.
So you see Zeus take a swig of it, and then you look at his eyes. His eyes, like he's wide-eyed, like he's awake. It's like
Oh
he,
shit.
it's like he sobered up real quick.
Uh,
Because he seems to have his
can,
motor function back. Like it's like a
can I
different
do
side of him.
can I do a medicine check on that? See what's in it. See if I recognize anything in it.
Would you like to?
Let me give it a shot. 18.
Let's check to make sure. So 18, you look at it. It's no real negative effects. It gives you, like you know, it's positive.
Okay.
So drinking it's not gonna say get you drunk or anything like that.
Yeah, I'll give it a swig then.
You taking a swig or you just gonna chug it?
Then I'm gonna give it a swig.
You take a swig, and like you feel it, like you're pumped. It's like adrenaline. Like you're, like shit. That was, man.
Hell yeah.
It's like an 8-hour energy. You know how you take a swig and you're like hyped.
Yeah.
Like you could do. No, so they have this one. The one that we had in England. It was basically Coke in a bottle.
Just
I don't.
pipeline.
It was because it wasn't 8-hour energy. It was something like it was their off-brand. But man, this shit would it get you hyped.
Yep. I remember because we had because they had them in France too. I remember.
Mm-hmm. Like you were wired for more than 12 hours. Like you were hooked. But yeah, you have that feeling like I need to work out or do something. But it starts making you hungry.
Shit.
Like you got the urge to eat.
Guess I'm gonna eat some of that.
Because you see Zeus, he's over there just eating it fine.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just eat some of that.
So Ed, you're watching all this. Jeremy takes his bowl, gulps it down. Like you see Spatula hurry up and look. She looks over at Jeremy like, just waiting to see the effects. But Jeremy seems.
So we have the same look on our face.
Yeah, Jeremy seems fine. Like Jeremy's stomach is like he's full. Like it's like when you get the munchies.
Yeah.
Like Jeremy, you take another bowl and you're just sitting there picking out the shrooms, eating them. Like you're just kind of like walking around the fire, like, man, I gotta do something, man. Let's do stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna do some repairs on their little boat.
Actually, hold on, let me. This might be good. What do you want to do?
I want to make it a little less rickety, like make it more seaworthy if I can.
So I give you
Is
this.
survival?
No, add this little special. Oh, it's gonna be survival, but you're gonna get a special little blurb.
All right.
Let me. I'm gonna highlight it. I'm gonna put it in your thing.
In my mysterious note, or
No, I'm gonna add.
oh,
I'm gonna add your perk.
all right.
Go ahead and roll your nature.
Nature.
There you go, Jeremy.
All right.
I already,
Oh shit.
I already have your stuff selected, so you don't know which one.
Gotcha.
You don't know yet which one you're able to when you read it. But you know you're not. If you read it, you're not favored in this terrain.
I'm not favored in the terrain we're in right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, I thought you were gonna do a survival check, not a nature check.
You said nature.
Sorry, survival check.
Hell yeah.
So you're able to tie the logs tighter and make sure they're not falling apart like they were. You're able to put a chest together. Like, Ed, you're watching all this shit, you're like, the fuck did he just take? But, so, you see, like, Jeremy thinks he's going 100 miles an hour, but you start to notice he's starting to slow down. Like,
Let me
he's
fill in. Right, yeah.
he's like, Jeremy thinks he's going 100 miles an hour, but it's like slow-mo now.
And the crash.
But Zeus is basically following you around, seeing if you're gonna drink. Like he kind of like elbows you, like, huh, huh? But you see that Jeremy's still going. He's just Jeremy's like a crack at it that just like he's like frozen in time. Like he's like moving real quick. That Jeremy thinks, and you're like, man, this the fuck's going on with this guy?
But now I'm confused. Was it the food or was it the drink? Because I know it wasn't the food, but I don't know what was in the drink.
Jeremy, once you find out what the drink was, you're gonna laugh
Oh shit.
because I don't think it's clicked for Ed on what the actual this campaign is, or if he even knows.
I don't have a clue.
Yeah, so when you look over your shoulder, Ed, you see Dredd has a cup of it, and he just chugs it, and you see him, he's just sitting there flipping through the book. Like he'll slowly stop, and then he flipped through the book, closed the book, goes back to the tent, grabs another book. And you just see Jeremy, he's just running back, like Jeremy thinks he's running back and forth on this ship, but you look at him, he's like slow-mo, like, So what are you gonna do, Ed?
Guess I'd take a swig. Actually, I'd probably chug it because of the bonds.
So you take it, you down this son of a bitch, and you're like, oh, like you have the same sensation, Jeremy. We have to do something. Let's do some shit. But you have that growing hunger.
So it's growing, but I'm not starving yet.
No.
I think I'll explore a little bit then. He's over at the boat.
Oh, you didn't get told about the island. That's how when you look over at Jeremy, Jeremy's not sleeping. He just
fell over on the ship, just passed out.
and then if you looked at him, he looks roll perception.
Me before I leave, before I start walking.
No, you were already over there, dude. You gotta roll perception now.
Well, no, that's why I was asking. Was it before I started walking or after the fact?
It's gonna be as you're over here. Nope, you don't see it. One short, dude. You're one short.
Damn.
Jeremy, you should know what's over here.
Wait, what's over where?
Clamp.
Oh shit.
You just stepped.
Oh, fucking bear trap.
Yep. You now have a bear trap that is latched into your calf.
Ow.
All the turtles here at Clamp, and Elle's over there giggling. Dread walks over, hands you a vial. It's the same vial that Jeremy got earlier. It's like, this'll do the healing. I'll get this trap off. It's a 1d4 of damage from the bear trap. Ouch.
Now I roll good.
It's always the shit that's not good for you.
So he gets the bear trap off, and you're bleeding. And Dread just tells you, just drink it.
Probably was a sign. I'd probably drink it because I don't know anything else.
So when you drink this potion, it heals you a 1d6 every 5 minutes, and it lasts for 10 minutes. At the 10-minute mark, you're trashed. But since you have cuts in your mouth that you didn't tell anyone, it hits you immediately. You pass out drunk. Like, you just kind of pass out, and Dread's like, well. Dread looks over where Jeremy was. He's like, well, he's passed. Humans.
I forgot how to take my health away. Fortunately, just not worried about it right.
No, you're gonna be healed up anyway because you drank the potion. Because the effects hit you immediately. That's why when you took a, like, you drank it all, it hit you like you were like up. You were definitely worse than what Jeremy was.
What, I can't take a con save against being totally wasted?
Not with cuts in your mouth. Unless you want to roll it with disadvantage. Make sure. So you are conscious enough to walk back, but you are groggy and now hungry. So you gonna take food?
Yeah, take food. I'm at that happy drunk probably at this point. I'm
Yeah.
tired, I'm drunk, and I'm. Where's the bagogi?
So when you
Yeah.
basically once the first mushroom hits your cuts in your mouth, that's where you go to slumber.